As you all know, this has been a remarkable year for LGBT equality in Illinois. And with all these successes comes a standard that must be upheld for the upcoming year. To that end, I would like to take a moment and map out where Equality Illinois is going over the coming year. First, while equal marriage is our ultimate goal, we must first focus on civil unions. And although civil unions was a hard-fought win, it will no doubt be an equally hard fight to implement and defend if necessary. So, in partnership with Lambda Legal, we have established the Civil Union Tracker, which will closely scrutinize the implementation of civil unions around our state. This will ensure that the will of the lawmakers to provide all 650 or so benefits and protections of marriage is actually carried out. We have also embarked on an education campaign throughout 24 geographic areas of the state to educate and empower our community on the protections and benefits of civil unions. And we will soon begin the administrative education program, under which we will be educating and serving as a resource to county officials in all 102 counties to make sure that they fully understand and are properly equipped to implement civil unions come June 1st, 9 a.m. Second, we will build relationships. We will expend extra effort and resources reaching out to communities of color and Spanish-speaking communities. We will also focus on strengthening our relationships with religious communities, helping our faith-based allies become faith-empowered advocates. To date, we have already built a network of over 300 clergy members representing nearly 280 churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, and other places of worship in more than 80 cities and towns across the state, and we will build exponentially in the coming year. Third, transgender equality. We will mobilize and we will support within our congressional delegation for a gender-inclusive Employment Non-Discrimination Act. And let it be clear that Equality Illinois will not support ENDA that does not protect the transgender community the same way that it protects me. We will also work with employers to create welcoming workplaces for our transgender brother and sisters, such as by implementing the Safe Bathrooms Initiative, which we recently launched with Genderqueer Chicago. Fourth, the Chicago Appointments Project. In order to ensure real equality, our community must be at the table making decisions and participating at the highest levels of government. That is why, in partnership with the Gay and Lesbian Leadership Institute and the Human Rights Campaign, we have launched the Chicago Appointments Project. This initiative will facilitate the identification and appointment of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender individuals to high-profile positions within the next mayor's administration and hopefully other governmental administrations throughout our state. These are just some of the initiatives for 2011. And in order to drive this aggressive agenda in 2011 and beyond, we have begun the search to build the strongest public policy team in the state. We will not rest until we achieve full equality, and you have my word on that. And while you will see me and some of our board members over the coming year involved in each of these initiatives, the fact remains that we rely on generous support of thousands of volunteers, supporters, donors, members, friends, and allies. Specifically tonight, I want to say a few special thank yous to them. Please put your hands together as we thank the Chicago Hilton, Robert Newbert, and the ballroom staff represented by Unite Here. Keep your hands together and help me thank Gala coordinator Bill Statt and his amazing team of volunteers, including the Gala committee, silent auction staff and team, volunteer coordinator Lauren Carter, and her amazing group of over 100 volunteers. And last but not least, our amazing and wonderful staff, Caroline Stark, Joey McDonald, Kevin Mork, Bill True, Joy Conklin, and Bernard Cherkasov. I also want to thank my fellow 22 directors who make up the board of Equality Illinois. And thank all of you for joining us in this wonderful celebration. Many of you have been supportive of us since the beginning, and some of you joined us just this past year. And still, for some of you, this is your first introduction to Equality Illinois. Whatever the case, we owe a debt of gratitude to you for the last 20 years, maybe the last year, and still tonight. In addition to you, we must recognize our generous sponsors, for tonight wouldn't be possible without their support. Specifically, we want to thank our Gala sponsors, starting with our beverage sponsors, Bailey's, Cointreau, Don Julio, Gallo Family Vineyards, Gentleman Jack, Hendrick's Gin, Johnny Walker, Kylo Kai Rum, Piper Sonoma, Remy Martin, and my personal favorite, Stoli Vodka. Our media sponsors, ChicagoPride.com, Gay Chicago Magazine, Grab Magazine, MTMChicago.com, and Windy City Media Group. Our bronze level sponsors, Chapman & Cutler, Coors Light, Greenberg Traurig, Miller Lite, Neil Gerber and Eisenberg, Nielsen, Quarles and Brady, Sipar Shaw, Skadden, and Supergirl Images. Our silver sponsors, AT&T, Hilton Chicago, J&L Catering, Motorola Mobility, Sidley, and Walgreens. Our gold level sponsors, Kirkland & Ellis, Omnibus Advertising and Marketing, and the place that I call home, Sidetrack. And finally, our platinum presenting sponsors, Harris Bank and Wirtz Beverage, Illinois. We want to call out a special thank you to Brad Ballast, Judy Rice, and Ellen Costello at Harris Bank, and Fred Cooper, Danny Wirtz, and the entire Wirtz family at Wirtz Beverage, Illinois. And now, please direct your attention to the screens for a word from our platinum presenting sponsors.
There was a time when you said diversity and people didn't even know what you were talking about. And then it evolved from race and ethnicity and gender to include a much broader definition of diversity and including sexual orientation and gender identity. The diverse workforce really helps us to ensure that we're attracting the best talent and that we are mirroring the markets in which we do business, which in turn all allows us to contribute to a better bottom line.
Taking a public stance by supporting lots of LGBT organizations over the course of time, we feel has positioned Harris as an employer of choice.
Having an affinity group specifically for GLBT employees definitely shows and should demonstrate to all employees that Harris is an inclusive employer. It's important for Harris Bank to be involved in the community with the GLBT groups because of the fact that we are in the community.
We've chosen to align with Equality Illinois not only because of the support for LGBT issues and causes that is just sort of a part of our corporate value, but also because Equality Illinois is an important organization with which we want to associate our brand for business purpose.
On behalf of Harris Bank and Lions Pride, I would like to congratulate Equality Illinois for 20 years. Thank you for all of the hard work that you have done.
I think that this is such an exciting year. The accomplishments of Equality Illinois have been really unparalleled this year.
Congratulations. The journey has been long, it's been arduous, but it has been successful.
If you said you were gay when I first came into business, people would look at you strangely, like you may have two heads.
I would imagine over the years it's come a long way. I think there's a much more sense of openness and inclusion in the company, an awareness and appreciation for differences.
It's the right thing to do. That's basically it. It is the right thing to do.
Where we're at now feels a lot more current, modern, where we all need to be as a business community. We're a proud partner of Equality Illinois for a few different reasons. One, for our internal employees, we need to create a community within our employee base that accepts differences, that creates a sense of community. And for our customers and for our relationships in the market in the state of Illinois, it's important for them and it's important for us. And so it's important for us to give back to that community that is a big part of our business. It's also very important for us to support this great gala. It's a great celebration for some of the many accomplishments back from 2010. And because we're in the business that we are, we can play a small part in making the celebration that much more exciting and fun for everyone here. Oh, well, happy anniversary. You do tremendous work. We're very proud to be part of the Equality Illinois community, and we look forward to many successful years ahead.